Hey patrons, welcome into our astrology reading for Taurus, Gemini, cusp energies and placements. Oi. I hope that this message finds you in divine alignment, and I thank you so very much for tuning in and for all your love and support. We're going to go ahead and get into these cosmic influences. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, Holy Spirit, my ascended ancestors, and all holy angels. Can you show me what's going on here for Taurus, Gemini, in the cosmos? What's happening? What are the strongest influences for Taurus, Gemini placements? Venus. Come on now. Come on now. For those of you that are also YouTube channel members, that second, third house reading was crazy. The way the cards came out was like big. All I can say is just big energy. Big energy. Well-deserved energy. Big energy though. So Venus also big influence here, okay? Going retrograde. Started March 1st. Moving all the way through April 12th. So we got a whole month and a half of this energy, okay? So you definitely feeling it, being ruled by Venus partly. Venus and Gemini, Taurus, Gemini, okay? Might be really feeling, I mean, maybe even with this being in retrograde, feeling a little bit more flexible, a little bit more mutable, a little bit more water, flowy energy than normal, than what you might be used to. A little bit more intuitive, trusting yourself more patience, more connected and in tune with your spirit, and more receptive to maybe a truth here. Surrender, fluidity, and welcoming change. Cardinal. With Yang, so yin and yang are a part of this. And again, that second and third house reading was wild. So I hope those of you that are also YouTube members over on the channel enjoy that message. But this Venus retrograde is bringing imbalance between your yin and yang energies, your activity and passivity, your rest and action, expression and silence, stillness and forward motion, mutable, surrendering, no longer resisting and or welcoming whatever is on the opposite, like whatever's welcoming the opposite of whatever you've maybe been moving through for a minute, because I feel like you've been in this energy for a minute. This is going to also feel like a fire in the belly, yang energy. Once you start operating in a new truth, accepting some form of truth, because truth is here. Giving and receiving love, finding value and seeing the beauty. The parts of you that weren't open to receiving, no matter how much you maybe wanted to, are starting to break free, break open. Okay. Your Venus could be an immutable sign. So Venus in Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius or Pisces, or a cardinal sign, Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn. Or these could all represent where Venus is transiting in your personal natal chart. So your third house, your sixth house, your ninth house, or your 12th house, or your first house, your fourth house, your seventh house, or 10th house, okay? And the Five of Swords, right? Six of Wands at the bottom. I think you've been really disappointed with the cycle of giving and receiving that you've been in, or the lack of. Something's been messing with your mind here. Yeah. Ten of Swords. They want me to put it back. Thank you, Spirit. What's been messing with the Ace of Wands? Not believing in yourself, not believing in love, maybe not believing in the transformative energy of love or Venus, not feeling valued for what you give. That could also be it too. For some of you, it's almost like just when you thought no one cared, is what I just heard. Just when you thought no one cared, people start paying attention. Things start solidifying themselves. Something about this Page of Pentacles is very solid. Six of Cups in reverse. So some of you could identify with being on the more giver side of things. Yang energy. Give, 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 give. Yeah, and what comes back? You've established yourself in some way, or yeah, maybe you've established yourself in some way as someone who doesn't need anything. Maybe this is a bit of a struggle with your independence and interdependence. What's mutable? Seven of Pentacles. Some of you maybe thought you were doing the right thing here. And that maybe has Justice in reverse. Yeah. That hasn't balanced out the way you thought it would. Or no, yes, for some of y'all, but others of y'all, another timeline here would be this Seven of Pentacles. It's about energy, the Ace of Wands. Because just as I said that, Spirit brought me to but the Ace of Wands, I'm like, oh, right. It's about the energy. Trying to find the frequency, trying to tune yourself in to the right energy to solve this puzzle of the Seven of Pentacles. Because you are the Hierophant. It is your cusp energy towards Gemini. Ace of Pentacles, right. Trying to solve this puzzle. And the Page of Pentacles with the Ace. So I would say the Page of Wands isn't too far away. I'm getting the energy of someone else here, Taurus, Gemini. Two of Pentacles, Capricorn energy maybe. That was placed in some sort of position as the Hierophant, but something about that Six of Cups energy, something about being disconnected from their own inner child, or not really, not being in this position from a sincere space. Something about sincerity. So not becoming the Hierophant because you want to help or you want to assist or you want to support others, and not only just yourself but others, but it's maybe something very selfish, because I would say the Six of Cups upright would be an act of selflessness. Like, I've been there, so I know how it feels, so I'm gonna lend a hand because I wish somebody would have lent a hand to me when I was in that moment. Like, that kind of giving back. That's what I mean by reciprocity. Not just because someone initiated something with you, but because you've recognized the energy, you know what that feels like. So I'm going off on that because I do feel like somebody was in the position to maybe do that, but they let their heart ice over maybe, or they kind of like didn't pay it back. They don't consider, how am I trying to say this? This could be centered around a masculine, and like I said, I felt it. I said that Page of Wands was going to come out. There they are, and the Queen of Cups is here. It's like somebody was put in a position and they made it about themselves rather than made it about the gift that is the position of the Hierophant. So somebody maybe lost touch with their humility, I would say. Queen of Pentacles wanted to come out in reverse. So yeah, somebody who was more materialistically driven, not heart-centered, more worried about material and appearances. This would definitely, Queen of Pentacles in reverse would be somebody who's overly concerned with like appearances. They want to look like they're something. Ace of Swords just flipped out. Rather than actually being it, rather than actually cultivating it. They want it given to them. Four of Cups. They're a little, I think they found some sort of comfort. I heard in a wound, comfort in a wound. Clarify the Ace of Swords with the Four of Cups here, Spirit. Okay, the Ten of Wands. And the Knight of Cups. With the Queen of Wands, okay. And the Ten of Pentacles. Someone's gonna have to really face a truth here, and that's what I was feeling. That truth was coming out. Someone's gonna have to face a truth here that there has been a bit of an imbalance when it comes to giving and receiving. Reciprocity, Venus energy, Six of Cups in reverse, right? It's almost like, too, if somebody felt like they were doing the right thing by trying to help somebody, there's somebody who doesn't want to be helped. Seven of Cups. Yeah. With the World and the High Priestess. With the Ten of Cups. Right over here on Venus. Right. Some of you, this could have to do with family. Where youth maybe, I don't know, maybe there was a part of you that, I'm hearing kind of like golden child type of a vibe. Maybe you've been put in a position in your family dynamics to feel like you have to earn love. To feel like you have to or not even feel, maybe you've always been kind of put in this position to be the Hierophant, to be the one who chooses the higher road, is what I just heard. Always having to take the higher road. Always having to be the bigger person. Something about that is significant, because it feels like this is something that you just maybe accepted, but it isn't meant to be a part of your fabric, is what I heard. So like, it's your makeup, your composition. It's not an accurate representation of you. And it doesn't deserve to be. And I do think that there has been this kind of like confusion or a little bit of muddiness around, well, what does family mean, and what is love, and what is relationship? So maybe you've already been down that rabbit hole a little bit, Taurus, Gemini, or Venus is pulling you down that rabbit hole over the next month and a half. You'll be thinking about that. And as those truths come in, as they will, you will recognize that you are technically in the Four of Cups, holding on to emotional energy that isn't reciprocal, or relationships that aren't reciprocal, or that you've been neglecting yourself, neglecting your own cup, your own balance for the sake of other people's balance. And it's going to put you in a position to have to accept that truth, which is going to hurt a little bit, Three of Swords. But it's going to pull you inward properly so that you could get to that Five of Cups. So that you can lament what hasn't happened, what maybe won't happen, what's maybe not possible right now. Nothing is impossible, but for at least right now. And you're going to have to refill that cup that the divine is handing you here, because you got the Ace of Cups, so that's confirmation. Until you get that Six of Cups upright, until you feel well enough, fulfilled enough, filled enough in general, loved enough, comforted enough within your own self. So this could even be like a moment in time where you're really going to have to parent yourself, Taurus, Gemini. But if you can focus in on that, it's going to bring in so much balance to you, and maybe even help you heal from this Ten of Swords. Yeah, it's going to get you out of this Ten of Swords and into the Page of Wands. So you've mastered the earthly representation of Venus energy, right? Of how to do your part, be responsible, and also charitable. You've mastered that. You're in the Page of Pentacles when it comes to that. But when it comes to the Ace of Wands, the spirit, that's what's kind of rebalancing here. And that's going to pull you into your heart, and it's meant to pull you into your heart. So again, you are right where you need to be, Taurus, Gemini. Let's see what archetypes are growing, blooming, connecting with you throughout this transit energy. I almost want to say transitional energy. So you are transitioning here into a higher frequency, into higher alignment. Thanks to Venus, because she's retrograde. Yeah. I just heard going back to collect. Ooh, that's a lot. You're going back to collect the child, the inner child, the heart, also represented by the child, the sun, your spirit. You're going back to collect you. Mother energy, mystic energy, the sensualist, the storyteller, and the loner. We're going to take it because it all came out, okay? And it kind of fits perfectly across our little spread here. Thank you, Spirit. So the numbers 14, 31, 25, 17, and 35 could be significant for you. For so long, you've maybe felt like a loner, Taurus, Gemini. And I'm sure you have a lot of stories to tell about your journey as this mystic energy, your time as this Hierophant. And like I said, with the Five of Cups, you're going to have to maybe parent yourself. So what might be lacking is the mothering. This could be healing a mother wound within you, Taurus Gemini, and allowing you to reconnect with that sensibility of your Ace of Cups and no longer overpour or overgive or underpour or undergive, or not pour it all, not give it all, no matter whatever you were at in that 10 of Swords energy. Because I get it. Yeah, that 10 swords are in your back. It's hard to open up your heart. You're already bleeding out. But you're going to find that fire again, and it's going to rebalance you, okay? Yeah, 2 of Swords with the 2 of Cups and Death. Like I said, you're going through a major transformation right now, which is realigning you with you, and a lot of the collective is realigning. So no need to fear, no need to worry, okay? Because you know why? What made you a loner, or how you were made to be a loner in whatever family dynamic you came up in, it taught you how to stay connected to your imagination. It also opened up the door to spirit to you. And if you are worried or concerned about your ability to mother, I feel like spirit is confirming that you have a good head on your shoulders, or you have the right sensibility. You're tapped in enough to be able to properly mother in a way that maybe you didn't get mothered, right? So you will be breaking that curse. You will be breaking that chain, okay? So congratulations. That's beautiful, beautiful energy. Let's read it quickly here from the book for some more insight. All right, with the loner and the red leaf rose, it says that the loner is not lonely. We'll do these really quick. I'm only going to read half of it. The loner is not lonely. They are confident in their own space and with their own ways. And yet they do develop small circles of people which are firmly based on quality, interest, and common ground rather than quantity. Exactly. Exactly. Some of you are recognizing soul family. And unfortunately, soul family might not have your blood running through them. But that's okay. That's all right. Because I think spirit is going to bring you into a family dynamic, a family energy that mirrors to you the mystic that you are, the love that you are, the Venus in you. Everybody got it? Yours is awakening, I feel. Oh, a Venetian awakening. That's kind of nice, Taurus Gemini. This is like a new you. It's going to be beautiful, okay? What are you happy doing alone and have no need to share in order to feel content? So maybe you've been oversharing your time, oversharing your feelings, oversharing your thoughts, oversharing your abundance to try to maintain connections that either can't reciprocate or don't want to reciprocate, okay? And that's been taxing you a little bit, and I think it is due and right timing for you to go through this recalibration, okay? So the storyteller in 31, which 14 breaks down to a 5, 31 breaks down into a 4. Those numbers could be significant. All right, it says the storyteller lives for their passion of painting with words. They will entwine you in their drama, but also in their magic, while making some sort of sense, lesson, or memorable moment in the mundane. So this is going to be like a story for the ages. This is going maybe in your book of life in a sense of something that your soul is anchoring in for lifetimes to come, okay? If you believe in that type of thing. And if not, it's anchoring it in so that that solidity, something being solid, you getting solid like that reverberates and has a butterfly effect across all time, space, realm, dimensions, this reality, all realities, whatever, okay? Like it has a ripple effect. The butterfly effect starts with you, okay? The butterfly effect starts with you, Taurus Gemini. So what story are you living or telling yourself, and how does it make you feel? So be mindful of the narratives that your mind likes to remind you of. Pay attention to how it either boosts or diminishes your confidence or your self-esteem or your feeling of being loved, your perception of being loved. Okay? Be mindful of your perception. Something about Neptune could be very significant for you all that are resonating with this. And this is Leo energy, and I'm sorry. The loner was Pisces energy. So Pisces and Leo could be significant here. The mystic and the Boule de Negeiros says that the mystic will usually give up all earthly possessions and pleasures to devote themselves entirely to the divine or to the cause, the Hierophant. So I think this is, again, something about the sacrifices that you've made. People might have taken your sacrifices for granted, don't want to acknowledge them as sacrifices because they would feel indebted maybe, or they would feel like they would have to do something and they can't, or they don't want to. That kind of narrative, that kind of energy is what's kind of coming up to the surface here, so it can be cleansed out and you can kind of move on and move forward, I feel. Yeah. Okay. This is rather in a stairway of life, okay? Devoting themselves entirely to the divine or the cause. And they find themselves incredibly isolated. This is why it is a path trotted warily or personalized somewhat by many to include family, friends, and passions. So yes, you are on the Hierophant's path. Again, it's your highest octave here in your cusp energy, the Hierophant and the Magician, okay? But you have the power to create the version of the Hierophant that allows you to have your desires and needs met too. Maybe you find that you've been overly devout to people, places, things that aren't necessarily soul tribe, soul family, like that don't really align with your mission or your destiny. So again, a lot of clarity, a lot of truth coming up. So what do you feel you are devoted to, and is it in line with your values and the betterment of your life? And that's what you maybe need to kind of check in here with. More Pisces energy. So like I said, Neptune could be significant here. Okay, 25 breaks down into a 7. And then we got 17, so 77 could be significant. The old blush rose and the mother says that the mother nurtures without condition. Let me read that again, because maybe that's the sign that you might be overlooking, okay? Or something you can look for within you to know that you're in alignment with that mothering energy, healthy mothering energy. The mother nurtures without condition and loves without question. They know that no one is beyond the healing strength that comes from being earthly or divinely mothered. So describe what unconditional love means to you. So this is how Venus is showing up for you, Taurus, Gemini. Let's get to the root of what we feel about unconditional love. Do we believe it exists? If not, then how do we figure out how to conceptualize it so that it starts to reveal itself to you? Because unconditional love is real, but it's your awareness of it that gets skewed, or you can't see, or, you know, diminishes. So I think you're starting to, again, have a Venetian awakening love, and not just the romantic version of it, not just the movie version of it, not just, you know, the over exaggerated form of media love that we see, but love in its truth looks infinite and comes through in so many different ways. And the more ways that you can acknowledge, the more it shows up, okay? And this is Cancer energy, yeah. So something about the moon, again, the eclipse season that we're about to head into with this upcoming full moon energy could really kind of help phase some of this out, all right? And then we've got the sensualist. 17 breaks down into an 8, and 35 also breaks down into an 8. So 88 could also be significant. And the La France rose. All right, it says the sensualist is the lover of all things that delight and light up their mind, body, and soul. They know how to enjoy themselves, but they are not selfish in their pursuits. much preferring company along for the ride. So there you go. If some of you have been on this Hierophant journey or a spiritual journey or really learning you and getting in alignment with you, and that's maybe isolated you from a lot of what you thought was family, what you thought was foundation, that's about to be replaced with what actually is. And if you've been fearful of like, am I going to be alone for the rest of my life? Am I going to be lonely? Should I even care about love or connection or friends or whatever the case may be? Yes, you should. No, you aren't going to be lonely forever. It does feel like the divine is orchestrating in a timeline here for you, Taurus Gemini, where you get to have that divinity and that dedication with also the support of like village and community or a lover or family. Okay, it just might not be your blood family, it might not be your hometown or where you're from, but it's somewhere. Okay, and I think a lot of that truth of where that is and what that is and who that is will be coming up for you. All right, so let me know if any of this resonates with you throughout the month of March. I thank you guys so much for your love and support, and I'll see you in our next one. All right, namaste.